first round of the NBA draft is now officially come and gone, and there are a few players that I wanted to point out as being guys that landed in spots that I believe are perfect for them, and I'm now considering them my favorite landing spots for these rookies. But before I start, I just want to note, this is everyone kind of outside the top 4. The top 4 guys obviously went exactly where they needed to go. I think each one of them is going to thrive and excel where they landed. I just don't want to be redundant and keep focusing on those top 4 guys. Everyone knows they're going to be great. Everyone knows the spots they landed are the spots they were supposed to be in. So these are kind of guys that are outside the top 4, honestly outside the top 5, that I think are going to be really good where they landed. The first guy up is Haynes Steinbach. Haynes Steinbach fills a major need for Charlotte's front court, bringing an NBA-ready skill set and elite rebounding that should immediately strengthen one of the team's biggest weaknesses. His greatest strength is his ability to dominate the glass, using strong positioning, physicality, and excellent hands to consistently secure possessions on both ends of the floor. Offensively, Steinbach offers polished post-scoring with advanced footwork, soft touch around the basket, and enough shooting potential to hint at a future floor spacing option. This is shown as he shot 34% from deep this past season at Washington. However, the main concern is his defensive fit, as he lacks high-end vertical athleticism and may struggle either as a rim-protecting center or when defending quicker players in space, limiting his potential to play at the 5 early on in his career, but he showed flashes on the defensive side of the ball at Washington, so the idea of him developing there is not completely out of the picture at all. I think initially he'll start off as a 4, kind of like a stretch 4 or a bigger 4 option for this team, and I think he'll fit really well and thrive with this lineup. While he may not have the star upside as some of the lottery prospects, Steinbach projects as a safe, reliable pick who can make an immediate impact and help stabilize Charlotte's front court for years. I'm really looking forward to seeing him in that lineup on this exciting young team as they continue to build something special over there. The next guy up is Kingston Flemings. The Hawks found their potential point guard of the future in Flemings, filling the void that was left by trading away Trae Young, while giving themselves the flexibility to develop him behind CJ McCollum if they needed. Last season they saw Nickeil Alexander-Walker emerge as their de facto point guard, but he's not a traditional point guard, and neither is CJ McCollum, who they just re-signed. Flemings addresses that clear hole in the roster very nicely. An explosive athlete with elite speed, change of pace ability, and strong decision making, Flemings excels at breaking down defenses, creating for teammates, and pushing the pace in transition, something that Atlanta was already doing quite well last year, and now they have a pace demon to fuel that fire. His combination of scoring ability, underrated playmaking, and low turnover style makes him an ideal fit alongside Jalen Johnson and Atlanta's athletic wing core. There are questions about his long-term shooting profile and defensive impact, as he'll need to increase his three-point volume and prove he can hold up physically against the larger NBA guards, but after watching him at Houston, it is clear that he is not scared to take these shots when he has to, and he will only get more consistent with his work ethic. And on the defensive side of the ball, he comes from a program that is known for the defensive culture, and with that mindset engraved in his brain, I have no doubt in him buying into being a defensive menace in his career. Despite these risks, Flemings is viewed as one of the best value picks in the draft, bringing a star-level upside, high competitiveness, and the tools eventually to become the engine of Atlanta's offense. Next up, we have Yaxel Lenneborg. The Warriors prioritize immediate help over long-term upside, selecting Yaxel Lenneborg as a versatile NBA-ready forward who can contribute right away alongside Steph Curry and Steve Kerr's veteran core. Lenneborg brings an intriguing blend of size, athleticism, defensive versatility, passing ability, and developing shooting, giving Golden State a player capable of impacting multiple areas of the game from day one. A true point forward type of player that should fit seamlessly into this Warriors system. His age is the biggest concern, as he'll be 24 before his rookie season and offers less developmental runway than most lottery picks, raising questions about his long-term ceiling. But Mike Dunleavy Jr. came out and said that there has basically never been a player this good at his age. High praise from this Warriors front office. The Warriors have a ton of confidence in the new rookie and are planning to throw him right into the mix. He's super polished and will absolutely contribute immediately. Golden State believes his well-rounded skill set outweighs those concerns, especially as he projects as a switchable defender and valuable rotation piece who helps stabilize this front court. If Lenneborg becomes an immediate contributor during the Warriors' remaining championship window, this will look like a smart win-now selection, and he's shown time and time again that he's ready to impact winning at every single level. As a Warriors fan, I really want them to go after LeBaron Filan to bring in some shot creation and guard play there, but they ended up going after Yaxel Lenneborg to help our wing depth and our wing production, another major hole for this lineup. And honestly, I'm happy with the pick. I think he's going to be great for us. I think he's going to contribute right away. He might not be a superstar type of player, but he's definitely going to be a really solid role player on this team and do exactly what we need him to all season long, even all career long. Next up, I have Michael Brown. The Nets took one of the biggest upside swings in the draft with Michael Brown, betting on his star potential and elite shot creation ability to become the franchise centerpiece that they've been searching for, especially after whiffing on all 5 of their first-round picks last year. Brown's offensive talent is undeniable, featuring deep pull-up shooting, advanced ball handling, creative playmaking, and an ability to generate offense for both himself and his teammates, giving the Nets a true point guard option for their lineup going into next season, a major hole on their team. And on top of that, there's a ton of room in this lineup for him to assert himself as a top option alongside MPJ and now Julius Randle, if they choose to keep him. A perfect spot for him to really get comfortable and find his footing in the league. However, his college season exposed concerns about durability, efficiency, decision-making, and overall consistency, making him a boomer-bust prospect in this draft. But after what I saw, I have no doubt that he will make things work and be a great NBA player. For a rebuilding Brooklyn team lacking high-end offensive talent, this was a worthwhile gamble. If Brown reaches his ceiling, he could emerge as the star the Nets have been trying to find for years, and honestly, be one of the premier scoring and creating point guards in this league. And lastly, to round out the first round guys, I have Chris Sinak Jr. The Celtics addressed a front court need by selecting Chris Sneck Jr., a high upside big man whose combination of size, athleticism, and shooting potential fits Boston's modern style of play, a perfect fit for Joe Mazzulla's system both offensively and defensively. Sneck possesses rare physical tools for his position, blending center size with a wing-like fluidity, ball handling ability, and the potential to stretch the floor and beyond the arc. The exact style of big man play they had when they won their last championship. The challenge for him though is consistency, as he can disappear for stretches, make slow decisions, and sometimes shy away from the physical responsibilities typical expected from a center. But under the guidance of a coach like Mazzulla, I don't expect this to be an issue, especially with how he's able to keep his players accountable and focused at all times at every single point in the season. While many teams viewed him as a long-term project, Boston's strong developmental system gives him an ideal environment to refine his game and unlock his talent fully. And honestly, he should slide into their starting lineup right away with the unique abilities he possesses at the center position. This is a classic boomer bust selection. If the Celtics can maximize his tools and improve his engagement, Sneck could significantly outperform his draft slot and become one of the biggest steals in his class, and I fully expect that to be the case here. Moving off of the first round, the second round of the draft is going behind me, and there's a couple guys that I want to mention. The first two guys were guys that are definitely first round talents that I want to talk a lot about here. First one being Isaiah Evans. The Wolves addressed a clear bench need by drafting Isaiah Evans, a high-volume shooter who can immediately provide spacing and scoring without needing to dominate the ball. Evans is one of the most prolific shooters in recent college basketball history, consistently generating and converting a large volume of three-point attempts while thriving as a secondary scorer at Duke, an ability that gives me no doubt in my mind that this team will look to incorporate him into the lineup right away. But beyond shooting, he showed encouraging growth as a driver and a defender, using his length and athleticism to finish through contact, draw fouls, and make noticeable defensive strides. Though he still lacks true primary playmaking upside, another hole for the Wolves there, they were able to retain Ayo Dosunmu and are actively in the market for that. I think Isaiah Evans is going to do exactly what they need from him all season long, operating in a spark plug bench role that will come in and hit shots whenever they need him to. The next guy I'm going to talk more about is Malik Thomas. The Cavaliers addressed a clear need for guard depth by drafting Malik Thomas, projecting him as an immediate impact backup who can stabilize the offense when their primary creators are off the floor. A major hole for them last season, and Dennis Schroeder was definitely not enough for that position. Thomas is an elite shot-making prospect with the quick release and strong scoring instincts, showing he can generate offense both as a shooter and secondary creator during his time in Arkansas. While his scoring upside is his calling card and will carve out his role the most, the team's long-term success will depend on him improving his playmaking consistency and defensive engagement to avoid becoming a one-dimensional bucket getter at the NBA level. These are both areas he showed flashes in all season long, giving me confidence that he will continue to grow as a playmaker and a defender for the Cavs. That rounds out my favorite landing spots for prospects in the draft this year. I'd love to hear what you guys think of these spots and what players landed in spots that you think are the best for them, as well as who your favorite teams drafted and what you think of them. We are super close to free agency and the NBA offseason is only just getting started.